Hey, what's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 55 of Award Season Review Season 3. 97 reviews in 97 days, covering many of the films contending for awards recognition this season. Now, as some of the films that I'm talking about may still be in theaters or be awaiting a theatrical re release, all of the information I am providing to you is current within 7 days of recording and posting. Now, what is this information? Well, if this is the first time you're joining us, that's the critical response, the box office information, predictions on where it's going to go from my point of view, nominations the film has received, wins and recognition the film has garnered, and as most importantly, we know these reviews are spoiler free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for other great award season reviews and information, as well as the Where Can I Watch It 2024 spreadsheet, your one stop shop to see how to watch all of the films that I'm talking about this season, as well as the many more nominated, and also track those nods and wins so you can do best if you are going to fill out that ballot come Oscar night. So, we are in our penultimate day of our 8th theme week. It's Annie week. All of the films that I've been talking about this week have been nominated for at least one Annie Award, and these are the awards that recognize the best in animation. The highest honor for this genre comes at the Annie Awards, whether it's a fully animated project, feature, short, or special, or the animated elements in live action projects, features, specials, or shorts. Now, as we start to wrap up, I'm talking about one of two stop motion animation films vying for the top prizes. And first up today, we're talking about Madman Entertainment's Memoir of a Snail. Written and directed by Adam Elliot, the film was released in theaters this past fall. At the end of its theatrical run, the film made $627,448 domestically and an additional $580,078 internationally, leaving the film with a worldwide total of $1,207,526. Certified fresh, the film sits with a 95% critical rating from 110 critic reviews and a popcorn meter score of 85% coming from over 50 audience reviews. Award season wise, the film is currently nominated for two Annie Awards: Outstanding Achievement in Writing for an Animated Feature and Best Animated Independent Feature. Nominated or winning various awards at different critic circles and film festivals, the film was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Astra Awards, the Golden Globe Awards, and is currently nominated in this category for the Critics' Choice Award. And after its debut at the Annecy International Animated Film Festival, Memoir of a Snail walked away with the Best Feature Award. So, what is this about? Well, I take you to the 1970s, Melbourne, Australia, where we have Grace Pudell, voiced by Sarah Snook, who lives with her twin brother Gilbert, voiced by Cody Smith McPhee, whom she is very close with. Now, as young children, Gilbert always supported and defended Grace, and theirs is a friendship for the ages. They are very close. Having lost their mother in childbirth, they are raised by their father, who did not take the losing of his wife very well and unfortunately goes through other hardships, which will ultimately lead to his death, which results in Grace and Gilbert being sent to foster homes. However, they are on opposite sides of the country. They are no longer together. And to say they have different experiences, well, while Grace, our narrator, is treated fairly well by her foster family despite their interesting lives as swingers, and I may say some very interesting stop motion animation for those sequences. Gilbert has a less than positive experience as he is sent to live with a fanatically religious family who unfortunately are overly abusive to him. In childhood and teenage years, they write letters back and forth, and Gilbert promises that one day they will be reunited. And Grace holds on to that hope, but unable to form other relationships and suffering from low self esteem, she goes through her day to day trying to find meaning and somehow ends up leaning into a hoarding behavior and begins to collect anything and everything that involves snails, which is something that her mother was known to love, both the hoarding and the snails. And along the way, she will meet an interesting older woman, Pinky, voiced by a very delightful Jackie Weaver, who, through a series of events, will become Gracie's new foster mother. And as she continues to go through life as best she can, she always feels that there's something missing. Even when she thinks she has found happiness, it goes away. Meanwhile, life is hell for Gilbert with his foster family, save one foster brother, Ben, with whom he develops more than brotherly feelings for, very much to the ire of said religious fanatical foster parents, which leads to some extreme circumstances. And without spoiling too much more, there's going to be another, as if there weren't enough, tragedy that befalls that will have an unfortunate impact on these siblings. And, we wonder whether or not they will actually be reunited. This is a really fascinating, interesting film when you think about it. While stop motion animation presents, things that are very simple, it's nice to see that this simple, I mean, not that these films are not simple to make, but when we look at them, they seem, simple moldings. And sometimes we get light, fluffy stories that go with it, but here it's anything but. Elliot really gives us a multi-layered film. And, using the snail analogy, given the title, Memoir of a Snail, we see all of the things that Gilbert and Grace have to carry around on them, this weight that's forcing them to move through life in unpleasant ways. And Elliot never shies away from tackling the deeper issues these characters go through: depression, parental abandonment, fanaticism, response to homosexuality, and just loneliness, which is sometimes one of the worst things that anybody can go through. Grace spends much of the story telling, us and also a snail from her collection these different events. Writer and director Elliot has stated that this film is somewhat based on, elements of his real life, the hoarder culture and family dynamics that he experienced on his own, and he somehow cleverly spun this into a real deep, thought-provoking story set to some really interestingly designed characters. The characters based on people he's met. And Deirdre McClelland, who designed these characters, does quite a stunning job creating these almost Burton-esque figures, and there are some elements that are not that great to look at, but the large eyes and the simple dress and the black and the whites and the grays and the cluttered sets and production design elements created by Elliot frame this network perfectly. At times you almost think you're watching a black and white film, because the majority of this film is just, it's black, it's white, it's gray, it's dank. And, when we get those hints of optimism or when things happen, it's nice to see, yet it feels that these are lost. Gerald Thompson's cinematography captures all of this in some stunning shots, interesting camera angles as we move through. While it's painful to watch what these characters go through over the course of this 90-minute time, not counting for opening and closing credits, it's really an honest interpretation of life, and it's not always feel good. And usually that's what we get in animated features. So it's refreshing. If you haven't gleamed, this is not an animated film that you should bring out the whole family to. Little kids are not going to, not appropriate for them. For me, this was a film that I wasn't sure what to expect going in, but I have to say, Elliot truly gripped me in this story of family strife, acceptance, and moving on. Does it have Oscar chances? I absolutely think so. I mean, this is a strong contender to be in the best animated feature at the Oscars this year. I think it deserves to be there. It's one of two stop motion pictures that are really gaining attention for this. The other being Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, which, if you come back to me tomorrow, I will be talking about as my other stop motion entry. So I think we are definitely going to hear the film named as a nominee. I don't think it's going to be a front runner to win. I truly believe that's going to go the way of Flow. But Memoir of a Snail is a truly powerful film that needs to be seen. It's a 4-star film for me. If you would like to watch Memoir of a Snail, it recently just became available for streaming on AMC Plus. Or else, if you don't have AMC Plus, you can rent or purchase it on most digital platforms. All right. So 55 down, 42 to go. We're going to wrap up Annie Week tomorrow. As always, if you like what you heard here, please click that subscribe button, like the video, spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. And again, find lots of great stuff at my website, cinephilemike.com. All right. Until tomorrow, everyone, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.